Direct and inverse proportion is a fourth unit of this term. In the last session, we have learned about ratio, proportion, direct proportion, unitary method, and some exercise problems based on it. Now, let's recall them once again. A ratio is a comparison of two values expressed as a quotient. Example, a class has 12 girls and 18 boys. The ratio of girls to boys is 12 by 18. This ratio can also be expressed as an equivalent fraction 2 by 3. Proportion. A proportion is an equation with the ratio on each side. It is a statement that two ratios are equal. When two ratios are equal, then such type of equality of ratios is called proportion, and their terms are said to be in proportion. Two quantities x and y are said to be in direct proportion if they increase or decrease together in such a manner that the ratio of their corresponding values remain constant. That is, if x by y is equal to k, then x and y are said to vary directly, where k is a constant of variation. And the condition of x and y in direct proportion is x1 by y1 is equal to x2 by y2. Unitary method. We first find the value of one quantity from the value of the given quantity. Then we use this value to find the value of the required quantity. Steps involved in unitary method. Express the given problem in mathematical statement. Find the value of one unit of the given item using division. Find the value of the required number of same items using multiplication. Students, in this class, let us see inverse proportion. Let us consider the following situation. The following table shows the number of workers and the number of days to finish the construction of water tank in school. In this situation, the two quantities, namely number of workers and the number of days, are related to each other. We observe that when the number of workers increases, the number of days to finish the job decreases. Consider the number of workers as x and the number of days as y. Then we note that the product is always the same. That is, x into y is equal to 2 into 40 is equal to 80, 4 into 20 is equal to 80, 5 into 16 is again 80, and 10 into 8 is again 80. Consider each of the value of x and the corresponding value of y. Their products are all equal, say xy is equal to 80 is equal to k. And it can be expressed as xy is equal to k, where k is a constant. If y1 and y2 are the values of y corresponding to the values of x1 and x2 of x respectively, then x1 y1 is equal to x2 into y2. Now students, we can say that x and y are in inverse proportion. Inverse proportion. If one quantity rises, the other quantity falls. Example, price of petrol and number of liters that you can buy for a certain amount. In a direct proportion, we divide our x's and y's. And in inverse proportion, we will multiply x's and y's. Whereas the condition is x1 y1 into x2 y2. That is, x1 into y1 is equal to x2 into y2. Now students, we are going to see real life examples of inverse proportion. Students, now observe the situation here. 1. If one quantity increases, the other quantity decreases. That is, the heap of pebbles increases, but at the same time, the number of pebbles in the bowl decreases. 2. If one quantity decreases, the other quantity increases. The kind of variation of these two situations is indirect variation. Now let us see some more real life examples of inverse proportion. Speed and travel time. Speed and travel time are inversely proportional because the faster we go, the shorter the time. As speed goes up, travel time goes down, and as speed goes down, travel time goes up. Light and distance. The further away we are from a light, the less bright it is. As distance increases, brightness decreases, and as distance goes down, brightness goes up. Pressure and volume. As pressure increases, the volume of the container decreases. As pressure decreases, the volume of the container increases. Students, listen carefully. The following situations are the examples of inverse proportion. The number of men required and number of days they take to do the work. Electric current flowing in a circuit and its resistance. The frequency of vibration in a wire and its length. Price of each book and number of books of that can be purchased for fixed amount. Number of pages read and number of pages left over in a book. Now example 4.5. 60 workers can spin a bale of cotton in 7 days. Spin, it means draw out or twist. In how many days will 42 workers spin it? So, here in this problem, if 60 workers can spin cotton in 7 days, what will be the number of days taken for 42 workers? For 60 workers and then 42 workers. And to do the same task is the question before us. So, this problem falls under inverse proportion. As the number of workers decrease from 60 to 42 leads to the increase in number of days. Isn't it? Yes. Write down, let A be the number of days. So let A be the required number of days. So here we need to find the value of A. That is the number of days. And the decrease in number of workers leads to the increase in number of days. Therefore, both are in inverse proportion. So we know that for inverse proportion, the condition is x1 y1 is equal to x2 y2. So now students, form a tabular column and write down the quantities which are to be compared. Here number of workers and number of days are two quantities. So number of workers, 60 workers in first case, 60 workers can spin a bale of cotton in 7 days. Okay. Then how many days will 42 workers spin it? So here we can easily understand that the number of workers. So the number of workers decreases. Definitely the number of days will be more. Okay. So this situation falls under inverse proportion. For inverse proportion, we have the condition x1 y1 is equal to x2 y2. We know that x1 is equal to 60, x2 is equal to 42, y1 is equal to 7 and y2 is equal to A. Now substituting all the values in this condition, we get 60 into 7 is equal to, what is the value of x2? 42 into y2 is A. So now we have to find the value of A. So keep A one side and bring 42 to the other side. So when it crosses the equal to sign, it goes to the denominator. So 60 into 7, the whole divided by 42. Now cancelling 42 and 7, we get 1 and 6 times. 6 sevens are 42. And again when we cancel 6 and 60, here it is 1 time and in the numerator it is 10 times. So the value of A is equal to 10. Therefore, in 10 days, 42 workers can spin a bale of cotton. Now students, let us see example 4.6 problem. The cost of one box of tomato is rupees 200. Vaindan had money to buy 13 boxes. If the cost of the boxes increased to rupees 260, then how many boxes will he buy with the same amount? See, the cost of one box of tomato is rupees 200 in the first case. Vaindan had money to buy 13 boxes. If the cost of one box increased from 200 to 260, then how many boxes will Vaindan be able to buy for the same amount, which is our question. So this is again an inverse proportion problem. What is an inverse proportion? Inverse proportion occurs when one value increases and the other value decreases. Here the cost of box increases, the number of boxes decreases. So it falls under the inverse proportion condition problem. So write down the cost of one box is rupees 200. Increased cost of one box is 260. Let A be the number of boxes brought by Vaindan. So here we need to find the value of A, which is the number of boxes bought by Vaindan. As cost of boxes increases, the number of boxes decreases. Now students, form a tabular column and write down the quantities which are to be compared. Here number of boxes and cost in rupees are two quantities which are to be compared. And in the first case, 13 boxes. Number of boxes is 13. And the cost of one box of tomato is rupees 200. And then the cost of boxes increased from 200 to 260. Then what will be the number of boxes he buy with the same amount, which is A. So which is unknown value, we have to find this value. So by using the inverse proportion condition. So students, for inverse proportion, the condition is x1 y1 is equal to x2 y2. Here we know that x1 is equal to 13, x2 is equal to A, which is unknown value, we have to find it. y1 is equal to 200 and y2 is equal to 260. Now substituting all the values in this condition we get. So x1 is 13 into y1 200 is equal to A into y2. The value of y2 is 260. Now we need the value of A. So keep A in one side and bring the 260 to the other side. We get 13 into 200, the whole divided by 260. Now cancelling 0, 0. And here by using second table, 2 table, here in the denominator it is 13 times and in the numerator it is 10 times. Now cancelling 13 and 13. Remaining we get A as 10. So therefore he can buy 10 boxes for the same amount. Inverse proportion occurs when one value increases and the other decreases and vice versa. So far we have learned when are two quantities said to be in inverse proportion. Conditions for two quantities to be in inverse proportion. To find out the missing quantity when two quantities are in inverse proportion. And applications of inverse proportion in our day-to-day life. Look at the situation. Here we see a girl using different ways of going to school. If she walks at a speed of 3 km per hour, she reaches the school 30 minutes. Now if she goes to school by running at speed of 6 km per hour, she reaches the school in 15 minutes. If she goes to school by cycling at a speed of 9 km per hour, she reaches the school in 10 minutes. If she goes to school by car at a speed of 45 km per hour, she reaches the school in 2 minutes. In this situation, students, from this situation we see that when the speed increases, the time taken is decreases. Hence, it is the inverse proportion situation. And let's recall the definition of inverse proportion. Inverse proportion occurs when one value increases and the other decreases and vice versa. Now students, let us see the exercise 4.2 problems. Now students, let us see the problem, exercise 4.2, second problem. 6 pumps are required to fill a watered sump in 1.5 minutes. What will be the time taken to fill the sump if one pump is switched off? So here 6 pumps take 1.5 hours to fill a sump. If one pump is switched off, that is, if 5 pumps only works, then what will be the time taken to fill the sump? Which is our question. So now fill the tabular column. Here these two quantities, time taken and number of pumps, are to be compared. Now for 1.5 hours, so 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes and already 30 minutes is there. So 60 plus 30 is 90 minutes. So we can write 1 hour 30 minutes as 90 minutes. So number of pumps are required to fill a water sump in 1.5 minutes is 6 pumps. And then if one pump is switched off, that is 6 minus 1, which is 5. So what will be the time taken to fill the sump if one pump is switched off? So here we need to find the value of A, that is time taken. So from this we can easily understand that it is again an inverse problem. So what is inverse problem? What is inverse proportion? Inverse proportion occurs when one value increases, the other value decreases. Once again I'll tell you students, see what is inverse proportion? When one value increases, the other value decreases. Write down, let A be the required time taken. As the number of pumps decreases, the time taken to fill the sump will be more. So they are in inverse proportion. Now students, for inverse proportion, we know that the condition is x1 y1 is equal to x2 y2. And here we know that x1 is equal to 90 minutes and x2 is equal to A, which is the unknown value, the time taken to fill the sump. And y1 is equal to 6 pumps and y2 is equal to 5 pumps. Now substituting all the values in this condition, we get 90 into, what is the value of y1? which is 6. If there is no sign between two numbers, it is considered as multiplication. And here equal to x2 is a into y2 is 5. Now a into 5 is equal to 90 into 6. Now we have to find the value of a. So a is equal to 90 into 6. Here this 5, when it crosses the equal to sign, it comes to the denominator as 5. That is, multiplication of 5 becomes 1 by 5, division of 5. And here a is equal to, now cancelling 90 and 5, we get, this is 18 times. Here in the denominator it is 1 times. So 18 into 6 divided by 1. Now 18 into 6 is 108 minutes. So a is equal to 108 minutes. Now students, the time taken to fill the sump is 108 minutes, which is in minutes. So now we can convert this into hours by using 1 minute is equal to 1 by 60 hours. That is, a is equal to 108 by 60 hours. Students, let us divide 108 by 60. That is 108 divided by 60. Here 1 times 160s are 60. Minus 108 minus 60 is 48. Now the quotient 1 represents hour, and here the remainder 48 represents minutes. So we can write 108 by 60 hours as 1 hour 48 minutes. Therefore, time taken in minutes is 1 hour 48 minutes. Problem: a farmer has enough food for 144 ducks for 28 days. If he sells 32 ducks, how long will the food last? So here in this problem, a farmer has food for 144 ducks for 28 days. Okay. If he sells 32 ducks from 144 ducks, that is, now he has 144 minus 32, which is 112 ducks. Now the question is, for 112 ducks, how many days the food will last? Okay, so again this is an inverse problem. So when one value increases, the other value decreases. Okay, so solution: first form a tabular column and write down the quantities which are to be compared. Here the two quantities are number of days and number of ducks, which is x and y. And first, number of days for 28 days, number of ducks 144 ducks, and number of ducks 144 minus, he sells 32 ducks, so now it becomes 112 ducks. Number of ducks is 112. So now we have to find the value of a, that is the number of days. Okay, so here let us take the values of x as x1, x2, and the values of y as y1 and y2. Let a be the required number of days. As the number of ducks decreases from 144 to 112, the food will last for more days. Okay, they are in inverse proportion. Students, for inverse proportion, the condition is x1, y1 is equal to x2, y2. So here the value of x1 is equal to 28, y1 is 144, and x2 is a, which is we have to find, which is unknown value, and y2 is equal to 112. Now substituting all the values in this condition, we get x1 is equal to 28 into y1 144 is equal to x2. The value of x2 is a into y2 is 112. Now we can write it as a into 112 is equal to 28 into 144. Now we have to find the value of a. So a is equal to 28 into 144. Here this 112, when it crosses the equal to sign, it becomes 1 by 112. So now cancelling 144 and 112 by using two table. Here it is 72 and here in the denominator it is 56. Now cancelling 28 and 56 by using 7th table. In the numerator it is 4 times and in the denominator it is 8 times. So that is 8 sevens are 56. Now again when we cancel 4 and 8, here it is 2 times. Now 72 divided by 2. So when we divide 72 by 2, we get 336. That is a is equal to 36. So the value of a is equal to 36. Therefore the food lasts for 36 days. Fifth problem. 40 students stay in a hostel. They had food stock for 30 days. If the students are doubled, that is doubled, it means 2 times. That is, first the number of students is 40. So when it's doubled, we get 2 into 40, that is 80. So now the number of students is 80. Then for how many days the stock will last? So from this situation we can easily understand that it falls under inverse proportion. As the number of students increases, the food lasts for less number of days. So solution, now form a tabular column and write down the quantities which are to be compared. Here number of days and number of students are the quantities. Here let it be x and this one let it be y. Now the number of days 30. Number of students here in the first case 40. So when it doubled, it becomes 2 into 40, that is 80. So for 80, what will be the required number of days? That is a. Let it be a. So now we have to find the value of a, number of days. So let the required number of days be a. As the number of students increases, the food lost for less number of days. They are in inverse proportion. Now from the condition of inverse proportion, we have to find the value of a. Hence, for inverse proportion, we know that the condition is x1 y1 is equal to x2 y2. Here x1 is equal to 30 days, y1 is equal to 40 students and x2 is equal to a days, which is unknown. We have to find the value of a, and y2 is equal to 80 students. Okay, double the students. Y1 is equal to 40 and y2 is equal to 80. Now substituting all the values in this condition, we get x1. What is the value of x1? 30 into y1. So if there is no sign between two values, it is considered as multiplication. So y1 is 40 is equal to x2 is a into y2 is 80. Now we can write it as 8. A into 80 is equal to 30 into 40. Now we need the value of a. So keep a aside. And 30 into 40, the whole divided by 80. So when it crosses the equal to sign, multiplication becomes division. So A is equal to, now cancelling 0, 0 and cancelling 8 and 4. It is 1 time and in the denominator it is 2 times. So again cancel 30 and 2. Here it is 15. In the denominator it is 1 times. So the value of A, that is 15 days. Okay. So the food stock lasts for 15 days. Now students, let us see the 9th problem. A toy company requires 36 machines to produce car toys in 54 days. How many machines would be required to produce the same number of car toys in 81 days? So here we are given to know that a toy company produces a toy cars in 54 days using 36 machines. Now the question is, what would be the number of machines required to produce the same number of toys in 81 days? As the number of days increases, in the second case, definitely the number of machines will decrease. So it is the inverse proportion. Write down solution. Let the required number of machines be A. Let the required number of machines be A, which we have to find. As the number of days increases, the number of machines required will be decreased. Therefore, they are in inverse proportion. So, students, form a table or column and write down the quantities which are to be compared. So, here number of machines and number of days are the two quantities. And here in the first case 36 machines in 54 days, and in 81 days what will be the required number of machines? Let it be A, which we have to find. Now students, for inverse proportion, we know that the condition is x1 y1 is equal to x2 y2, where x1 is equal to 36 machines, x2 is equal to A machines, and y1 is equal to 54 days and y2 is equal to 81 days. Now we are going to substitute all these values in this condition. We get x1 36 into y1 is 54 is equal to x2 is equal to A into y2 is equal to 81. Now A into 81 is equal to 36 into 54. Now we need the value of A. So keep A aside and bring 81 to the other side. So it becomes 1 by 81. Now cancelling 36 and 81 by using ninth table. Here it is 4 times and in the denominator it is 9 times. 9 nines are 81 and 4 nines are 36. Again cancelling 9 and 54 by using ninth table. Here it is 1 times and in the numerator it is 6 times. So 6 nines are 54. So the remaining is 4 into 6. Therefore A is equal to 4 into 6 is 24. Therefore 24 machines would be required. When are two quantities are said to be in inverse proportion? If one value increases and the other decreases, and when one value decreases and the other increases, then we can say that the two quantities said to be in inverse proportion. Condition for two quantities to be in inverse proportion is, yes, x1 y1 is equal to x2 into y2. To find out the missing quantity when two quantities are in inverse proportion, Yes, we can do it by using the condition and substituting all the values, known values in it, and simplifying the equation. And finally, application of inverse proportion in our day-to-day life. So students, I have given lots of real life examples, so kindly go through once again.